In the game of sports, when there are two really exceptional players, there is bound to be rivalry no matter how little, because sport is all about competition. We've seen it time and time again between sports clubs such as Real Madrid and Barcelona for football, between countries such as India and Pakistan for cricket, and between players such as Ronaldo and Messi in football, or Shaquille O'Neal and Kobe Bryant in basketball. And, if we are being honest, this tension and rivalry actually makes the sport more interesting. So why should it be any different for the WNBA? Noted since its creation, the WNBA has been made fun of and thrashed, and most people didn't give it attention. However, in recent times that narrative has begun to change with the introduction of some rookies. These exceptional women and their energy have taken the WNBA by storm, transforming it into something that is respected. Previously, the number of people in the stands watching the game was low, and the TV rating was nothing to write home about. However, for the first time during a WNBA season, the stands are full, and the TV rating has jumped to astronomical heights never seen before. If this isn't revolutionary, I don't know what is. But who are the people behind all this? Well, as we said, some exceptional rookies, and leading them are Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese. The number of views these two are attracting is mind-blowing. I mean, you can't even compare the top WNBA players to their numbers. On YouTube, for instance, the stats reveal just how popular they are. Brianna Stewart, the reigning MVP, received less than 7,000 views. Wilson, the reigning Finals MVP, received less than 2,000 views. And Diana Taurasi, who is widely considered the GOAT of the WNBA, got 26,000 views in the last 30 days. But what about superstars Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese? While Angela Reese received an impressive 368,000 views, Caitlin Clark, currently known as the Golden Girl of the WNBA, received an astounding 2.8 million hits. Tell me, is there any comparison? Of course not. With this stat, you can see why women's basketball has been receiving so much attention unlike before. And to top it off, there has been a significant rise in revenue from broadcast deals, which means an increase in the average salary of WNBA players. Now, let's get to the real gist. These two players, Caitlin Clark and Angela Reese, have some sort of rivalry, and maybe the media and fans are blowing it out of proportion, but it doesn't change the fact that it is there. And, as we said earlier, it is completely normal because sport is competition. But, let's dive deep into this rivalry and how it all began. Caitlin Clark was born in 2002 in the heartland of America, Iowa. But precisely 104 days after she was born, Angel Reese came into this world on the vibrant East Coast in Maryland. Fortunately, for the WNBA, these two were born into families deeply rooted in the game of basketball. And not surprisingly, they caught the fever, passion, and interest in the game. The amazing thing is that passion translated into them becoming players, and based on the record, they weren't your average players. During high school, both dazzled and shined in the sport. At Dowling Catholic High School, Caitlin performed exceptionally well with several hits, including a 60-points game, scoring 133-pointers in a single game and averaging over 30 points per game for 2 consecutive seasons. This earned her the prestigious title of Iowa Miss Basketball. Angel Reese didn't get as much as Caitlin, but she was equally formidable, earning a reputation as a double-double machine. As a junior, for instance, she averaged 22 points and 19 rebounds per game. And unlike Caitlin, who never got a state championship in high school even though she was really good, Reese secured a state championship every year she played. However, due to the distance between Maryland and Iowa, their school teams never competed, but they did cross paths a few times. But the most significant encounter took place during the 2019 finals, where Angel's takeover team defeated Caitlin Clark's squad in the championship game. Not surprisingly, these two were among the best players in ESPN's class of 2020 rankings, with Angel Reese at number 2 and Caitlin Clark at number 4. With high school out of the way, it was time to move to a new chapter in their lives. Caitlin chose to stay close to home, playing at the University of Iowa, and according to her, because she admired head coach Lisa's ability to develop point guards. Reese also made a similar decision to stay close to home and opted for the University of Maryland, and the fact that head coach Brenda had been trying to recruit her since 8th grade. Surprisingly, in the first college matchup, Angel Reese played a relatively minor role, logging just 11 minutes of game time. Caitlin, however, dominated the game. However, even with Caitlin's performance, Iowa had a disastrous first quarter and wasn't able to fully recover. Caitlin's performance, however, made headlines, scoring 34 points and shooting 9 of 16 from behind the arc. She also broke the scoring record of the Iowa women's basketball freshman. So, even though Angels' team won, it was Caitlin who got the glory. 1 month later, the two teams faced each other again at the Big Ten Championship, and it was no different from the first time. While Angel played a relatively minor role, scoring just 6 points and grabbing 6 rebounds, Caitlin once again dominated the game, amassing 21 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Angel's team eventually won the game, but the spotlight remained firmly on Caitlin due to her fantastic individual performance, not just in this game, but throughout the season. To be honest, if you were in Angel's shoes, it would be hard not to feel jealous because despite coming out on top in numerous matchups, Caitlin is always the one receiving all the attention. In their second year, the duo faced off in one matchup where Angel finally dominated the game with 25 points and 13 rebounds, while Caitlin got 19 points and 10 turnovers. Angel not only dominated the game, but she also secured the win for Maryland. However, the media and the fans seemed to shed more spotlight on Caitlin. It's not exactly clear whether Angel felt jealous or irked at all the attention received by Clark, but maybe that's why she transferred from Maryland to LSU, where she played under head coach Kim Mulkey, and it was here that she began to blossom. From the beginning of that season to the end, Angel's performance was phenomenal. She delivered a 26.28 rebound game against Texas A&M, 20 consecutive double-doubles, and averaged 23 points and 15 rebounds per game. So finally, she began to receive recognition for her efforts. Meanwhile, Caitlin, still in Iowa, had practically reached megastar status. She might not have averaged a double-double, but she was always on the verge of a triple-double. But that is not all. In that same season, she was the lead in women's basketball in both points and assists, complemented by her incredible highlight reels. So, Angel might have risen in popularity, but she wasn't still on the same level as Clark. However, both teams were top-notch, racking up victories upon victories in 2023, and with each win, their popularity increased. And then, both teams reached the NCAA Finals. This happened to be their only meeting for the season, and it turned out to be the biggest stage in college basketball. Now, this was not just about the championship, it was more than that. Think about it. Caitlin has always been in the spotlight, but she has never beaten Angel's team when it mattered. Angel, on the other hand, has consistently beaten Caitlin's team, but the spotlight was never on her. Not surprisingly, this game turned out to be the most watched women's basketball game of all time. Nearly 10 million viewers tuned in, which by far surpassed the viewership of any NCAA women's game or even WNBA finals game in history. Not surprisingly, Caitlin started the game with a bang, but Angel Reese was there to counter every move and defeat her. To be fair, it wasn't only Angel doing the job, it was the whole LSU team. These guys were overall much stronger, with 3 players scoring 20 or more points. For Iowa, it was just Caitlin. The end result was a win for LSU. But it wasn't just the win that went viral, it was the trash talk from Angel as the game came to a close. In an unprecedented move, Angel taunted Caitlin, getting right in her face and asserting her dominance. As you can imagine, it got a lot of backlash. But that didn't stop people from criticizing Angel and casting her as the villain with harsh comments. After this match, the next time the duo met was once again during the NCAA tournament the following year. This time, Caitlin was even more superb, and she went on to become the NCAA's all-time scoring leader, both male or female, and the duo's rematch in the 2024 Final Four drew 12.3 million viewers, briefly becoming ESPN's most-watched women's college basketball game ever. When Angel was asked about her perceived rivalry with Caitlin, she said it was just competitiveness. Whether it was her true feelings or it was just PR talk, we will never know. While Caitlin was unstoppable during the NCAA tournament, and she even became the biggest star in women's basketball, she faced defeat once again for the second consecutive year. The ultimate goal seemed to have eluded her, but her popularity soared as she was number 1 in the 2024 WNBA draft while Angel was number 7. Not only did her popularity soar, but Caitlin also enjoyed substantial financial rewards, including a lucrative $28 million contract she signed with Nike. And she got this without even playing a single minute of WNBA. Angel, on the other hand, announced she had chosen to sign with Reebok, though the financial details remain undisclosed. As WNBA rookie players, both have faced each other a couple of times, and people say that rivalry is still there. For instance, on June 1st, Caitlin's Indiana Fever hosted Angel's Chicago Sky, in the players' first matchup since their Elite Eight game in 2024 March Madness. During this game, Indiana won the game by 1 point, but the team is instead making headlines for a foul against Caitlin. In one play, Chennedy Carter knocked Caitlin to the ground. Angel was photographed clapping, which caused headlines and a ton of renewed attention on this feud. However, Angel has recently set the record straight in her March-April cover interview with Women's Health. She said, "I love that we're able to compete and still be cool after, regardless of the outside noise. When we get between the lines and we're ready to compete, we just want to win. That's just the group of women. We always want to win. And we're strong and super powerful in everything that we do." Caitlin has also spoken her thoughts on the perceived rivalry between herself and Reese. During a post-game press conference on June 21st, she said, "I'm pretty sure the only people that view this as a rivalry are all of you. Like, to us, it's just a game of basketball." Well, whether or not that is true, the fact is that the perceived rivalry between them is crucial for the WNBA, because the more people talk about the rivalry between her and Caitlin, the more airtime they each get. Not to mention, the increased public interest ultimately benefits women's basketball. So, what do you think about Caitlin and Reese's rivalry? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video.